very often the reason we fail on the changes in our life is an unrealistic expectation of how quickly we're going to see clear results coming from the change. Hey, it's Conor here at ESA, January, and January is often a time when New Year's resolutions have been made. So this video is thinking a bit about New Year's resolutions, goals, habit change, how to think about really setting behavioral habits for a year that actually stick. And there's so often the trend of New Year's resolutions of getting fit, and by the end of January you've left the gym. New Year's resolutions of reading more, and by the end of January you're back on Netflix again. So some of the ideas that came to my mind, I was thinking about this idea of changing your habits. One story that for me is very powerful comes from Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, years ago, he had some time and a lot of money on his hands, and he decided that one thing that he'd always wanted to learn is how to do a handstand, how to stand on his hands, a freestanding handstand. And in California, he found that there was a coach who specialized in coaching you to do a freestanding handstand. And Jeff Bezos reached out to this coach, set up a first meeting, and wanted to get beginning on this practice that he would be able to do a handstand, freestanding handstand. And he remembers the first thing that coach asked him was, Jeff, how long do you think it's going to take before you can do a freestanding handstand, a handstand? And Jeff thought for a while. He says, well, I'm pretty committed. I'm in good physical shape. I'm strong. 2 weeks. And the coach said, well, that's what we need to change right now before we can begin. And she said, as long as you can believe that you can make this change in your life and see results in 2 weeks, you're going to give up before you achieve the change. And she told him, if you commit to this and you put energy and effort and you really follow the work, it will take at least 6 months for you to be able to do a handstand. And until you and I truly get that it's going to take that long, we can't begin. Because if your expectation is that we will see positive results in 2 weeks, in the third week you're going to get demoralized, throw in the towel, and you will never do a handstand. And this reflection that many of us give up on resolutions, on habit change, because we have a very unrealistic expectation about when we're going to start to see results. And for me, I think coming up to 50, last year, for the first time in my life, I had to confront the fact that I couldn't remove the extra layer around the waist just by upping my exercise. That finally, as I come up to 50 years old, it can't just be more exercise. I'm going to have to start looking at how much food I'm eating. And last year, I decided how can I just make some shifts in my mindset around eating that can really last. And I remember the first thing that came to my mind as I thought about a commitment to reduce the junk that I was eating. And really my decision was not a diet. It was just a decision that I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm just going to stop eating anything outside of those 3 moments in the day. And here in Spain, it's very common in the morning at about 11 to head out of the office, go for a coffee, and I would tend to have a coffee and a croissant. And the same in the afternoon. And I think I just decided I'm going to cut out things that aren't breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I decided I'm going to explore feeling hungry. If I feel hunger, I'm not going to use it as a trigger to go and find something to get away that feeling. I'm going to explore what it feels like to feel hungry. I'm going to take a mindset that when I'm feeling hungry, some good stuff is happening. And the longer I can stay hungry, the better that stuff is going to happen. But as I began at the end of summer last year, my mind over and over again was expecting to see results very quickly. And I could see that my mind wanted to see that I'm going to have results within 2-3 weeks. And as 2, 3 weeks was going to come, I was going to start to feel demoralized that it wasn't working. And I really stopped to remind myself of this story from Jeff Bezos, that very often the reason we fail on the changes in our life is an unrealistic expectation of how quickly we're going to see clear results coming from the change. And in my case, probably it took till December before people started to say, hey, you're looking a bit fitter and healthier. I think the other thing that I want to make sure is that I don't make these changes as a 2 or 3 month change. I only want to make changes in my life that I'm committed to stick to for the rest of my life. And around health, I'm coming up to 50. I am very aware that if I don't start to really take care of my health, eating, exercise, stretching, keeping the muscles, it's not going to get any easier. And I'm going to need to really put time and energy in, and I'm going to need to be really careful about my mind wanting to see results far quicker than is expected, because it's the best way to get demoralized and throw in the towel. And for me, in eating, going back to eating croissants with my coffee. And as the new year comes around, resolutions, I think it's so important that as you look at the changes you want to make, the habits that you want to build, that you be very careful that your mind is building an expectation of seeing good results in a short time horizon. As the handstand coach of Jeff Bezos says, until you truly accept that it will be 6 months before you start to feel that you're getting this, we can't begin. Because if we begin with the mindset that you'll see results any faster, you'll get demoralized, you'll throw in the towel, and you'll give up. And I think, the important things in life, if it's important, it should be part of your life every day. So the question here, I guess, is rather than having a big long list of habits, it's deciding, what are the habits that I want to make part of my life for the whole rest of my life? Not for a week, a month, or until I lose X kilos, or until I've reached a certain standing heart rate. But to me, this concept of being so careful about our expectations, particularly in terms of the time it will take to see results. I'm here in a classroom at the ES. I've just been teaching a course on persuasive communication. And I need to be, on the one side, I need the participants to feel already within a day, within 2 days, that if I do this work, if I follow the process, I can see how it's improving my impact on other people. But at the same time, I need them not to just give up with the first change, to commit to making communication skills, to making a habit day in, day out, week in, week out. For me, the best habit I have is this making YouTube videos. Week after week, getting the camera out, trying to think what it is that I want to speak about, what it is that I'm learning, and sharing it. This habit is something I want to do for the rest of my life. It's something that rewards me in terms of getting better at seeing things in the world, turning it into an idea, and knowing how to turn that idea into something that I can share in a way that hopefully is meaningful, useful, helps you think through the challenges, the decisions that you're making in your life. So anyway, Conor here in ESA Business School. It's January. Make sure that you don't set overly optimistic expectations for when you'll see the results for the habits that you're changing. As this New Year's period comes to an end, we move to January, February, March. Make sure that you pick things that you can stick to every day for the long haul, not just for a couple of weeks until you see the first big result. And on that note, thank you for your likes, your subscribes, your comments, your interaction. It reminds me of why I'm making these videos and motivates me to keep going. So thank you to all of you who've shared comments, liked, and helped me get these videos out to the world. Have a good one.